Thailand is betting $15 billion on its first ever high-speed train. This huge project will connect Bangkok all the way to China. It's not just about faster travel, but about reshaping trade, tourism, and the future of Southeast Asia. The project is years behind schedule and full of challenges. Stick around to find out why this train matters, what's holding it back, and how it could change the region forever. Before we speed ahead with Thailand's high-speed rail journey, make sure to subscribe to stay on track with the latest mega projects and infrastructure marvels around the world. The idea to build this high-speed rail in Thailand didn't just come out of nowhere. It all started when China announced its Belt and Road Initiative. Back in the early 2010s, China came up with a massive infrastructure strategy. They wanted to link Asia, Africa, and Europe with roads, ports, and most importantly, railways. One of the core projects was a Pan-Asia high-speed rail network. That means trains running from Kunming in southern China, through Laos, and straight into Thailand, eventually reaching all the way down to Malaysia and Singapore. Thailand sat right in the middle of the map. Skipping it would mean rerouting the entire line. So, when China came in with an offer to connect, Thailand jumped on board. But it wasn't just about joining China's plans. Thailand had its own reasons too. Its rail network was outdated. Most of the trains still ran on narrow-gauge tracks built a century ago, crawling at speeds of 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. To go from Bangkok to the northeast could take 9 to 12 hours. And forget freight. Logistic companies preferred trucks over trains because rail was just too slow. Meanwhile, Thailand was trying to move beyond just tourism and agriculture. It wanted to become a logistics hub for mainland Southeast Asia. The location was perfect, as China suggested the railway line would border Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and just sit north of Malaysia. But without fast, modern connections, that potential was stuck on paper. So, in 2014, after years of discussion, Thailand signed a memorandum with China to co-develop a high-speed rail line. The goal is to connect Bangkok to Kunming via Nong Khai and Vientiane. It would be part of the larger central corridor of the Kunming-Singapore rail route. For the first 3 years after the railway opens, China will operate and maintain the system. Then, from years 4 to 7, both countries will co-manage it together. It will be sort of a transition phase. After that, China will step back completely. Thailand will take full control of the operations, and China will just help with technical advice when needed. China also agreed to train Thai workers and engineers during this period, so that by the time the handover happens, local teams can run the entire system themselves. Now, there's one more factor that pushed Thailand to join this plan. Laos had already completed its part of the route. In 2021, the Boten-Vientiane Railway opened, with 414 kilometers of brand new standard gauge tracks built and funded mostly by China. It linked directly to China's existing rail network in Yunnan, and it was a great addition for both countries. After its completion, cargo and passengers could move across borders in hours instead of days. If Thailand didn't connect to that, it would be left behind. Its neighbours would get the trade, the investment, and the attention. So the pressure was not just from China, it was actually regional. Everyone else was moving, so Thailand had to catch up. Also, the economic numbers made sense. A modern high-speed rail link would cut travel time from Bangkok to Vientiane from 9 hours to just over 2. That means quicker delivery times, better supply chains, and easier access for Chinese tourists. And let's be real, China is not just building trains out of goodwill. These railways are strategic. Every line built deepens its economic influence in Southeast Asia. Once Thailand said yes to high-speed rail, the next thing they had to plan was how they were going to build this thing. Construction officially started in December 2017, with a plan to finish the first phase in just 3 years. This phase included building a railway line from Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima. The distance is about 253 kilometers. It sounded doable at that time, but right now, only about 36% of that section is done. It has been 8 years since the construction started. So, what went wrong? First off, there was no proper coordination. This whole project is a joint effort between Thailand and China, but they are not sharing everything equally. China is in charge of designing the whole thing, doing feasibility studies and building bridges and tunnels. Thailand, on the other hand, is supposed to handle the materials, the land, and of course civil engineering. That's where a lot of the delay started. Thailand had to expropriate land for the railway, especially in urban areas like Dong Muan and Ayutthaya, and that takes time. People don't always want to move, and government compensation talks don't go quickly. Some sections were just stuck for months while ownership issues got sorted. And it wasn't just land. There were long waits for permits from other government agencies, like the Royal Irrigation Department. One stretch between Saraburi and Keng Hoi had to be paused because the railway crossed irrigation canals. Until the paperwork had cleared, they could not begin construction. Then came the pandemic. COVID-19 completely froze several contracts. There were labour shortages, lockdowns, and transport restrictions. This meant equipment could not move and workers could not report to sites. Whole stretches were left idle for months. But even before the pandemic, there were disagreements between Thailand and China on technical designs and the financing model. At one point, they could not even agree on how to price the steel. China offered funding packages, but Thailand didn't want loans that could lead to dependency. So, in the end, Thailand decided to self-finance the entire first phase. That gave them more control, but also more responsibility. Now, let's talk about the actual construction contracts, because there's a lot to unpack. The project was split into 14 main civil work contracts just for Phase 1. They were handed out to different Thai construction firms, often working with Chinese partners. Companies like Italian Thai Development, Nawara Patanakarn, and Civil Engineering PCL were on the list. But managing this many players is not easy. Some sections were just a few kilometers long, but involved different engineering methods, such as ground-level tracks, elevated viaducts, and tunnels. For example, the Muk Lake to Lam Takong section had to go through mountainous terrain and needed deep tunnel boring. That part alone took years to plan and execute. Then there were the station designs. Thailand wanted to make this railway look modern, and that included big new stations like the Krum Thep Apiwat Central Terminal in Bangkok. But that meant more time and more money. And when contractors missed deadlines, the State Railway of Thailand had to extend their contracts, sometimes by more than 200 days. One delay after another added up. The government originally said Phase 1 would be done by 2026, but it's now looking like 2030. And that's just for Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima. The second phase, which will stretch the railway line from Nakhon Ratchasima to Nong Khai, is even longer. It is about 357 kilometres and was only approved in February 2025. It hasn't even started yet. Now, let's talk about their budget. Phase 1 alone is costing around 179 billion baht, which is over $5 billion. Phase 2 is expected to cost 341 billion baht, or close to $10 billion. And these are not final numbers, because delays always lead to more expenses. As I said before, Laos has already finished its part of the line. Their China-funded railway from Vientiane to the northern border opened back in 2021. So now you can take a high-speed train from Vientiane to Kunming in China. That part works. But if you want to get from Bangkok to Vientiane, you still have to wait. Thailand is trying to catch up, but it's been a race with too many roadblocks. And it's not just civil works. Even rail technology had to be adapted. Thailand uses meter-gauge tracks for its traditional railways. But the high-speed line is built using standard gauge, which is 1,435 millimeters. This is just the one used in China's system. That meant building everything from scratch. They have to build new tracks, new train sets, new stations, and new depots. Nothing can be recycled. They also chose Chinese-made CR300 AF Fuxing trains, which can reach up to 300 kilometers per hour, though the actual operating speed in Thailand will be capped at 250 kilometers per hour. These trains will eventually run through 3 countries, so all the systems, including power, signals and controls, have to be compatible across borders. That takes time to coordinate. To wrap up, Thailand's ambitious $15 billion high-speed rail project aims to connect Bangkok to China and transform Southeast Asia's trade and travel. Despite serious delays and challenges, this railway could redefine the region's future if it succeeds. In my opinion, while the project's setbacks are frustrating, the long-term potential makes it a risk worth taking. The vision is bold and could unlock enormous economic benefits for Thailand and its neighbours. If you enjoyed this deep look into one of Asia's most significant infrastructure projects, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos on architecture, design and construction from around the world. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.